Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Hello and welcome to Apex Racing TV and the Radical Racing Challenge here for week 7 of the championship at Road America. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick, alongside me is Sanjay Daladoni, Mark Tretter operating the cameras, and we are at a pretty awesome circuit, at least from my perspective, at least. Sanjay, this place has a lot of slipstreaming, as we've already seen so far this season, and as we saw last season, a possibility for a run to the line as well. This should be hopefully one of the best meetings that we see all season.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic circuit. We have plenty of passing opportunities, a lot of corners where drivers can make up some time, but at the same time we also have these big straights, as you were saying, some where with this big slipstream effect that the Radical has, is very, very easy to close the gap and make something happen, as we are looking at Manureo Largo, number 1 in the room today, starting his first lap of qualifying. I think we don't have Kane Halliburton today, so I think we have plenty of opportunity for everyone. It's not their first win of the season.
Yeah, that could certainly change things, because the only race winner that will be out on circuit should be Aaron Barber. But is Aaron? Yeah, Aaron is here. Okay, so he's the car number 2. So he's the only race winner that we've seen on a Friday night. We've got a couple of different championships actually. So we've got, of course, the official series championship where every race of the week counts. So it's the best score from the week. However, this race is the strength of field race, so this is where the most amount of points are available. But say if you crash in this race, then you can just do another, high-level race. That's not too bad. We've also got the Friday night championship as well. So it's got a F1 point system, so you get fastest lap points as well if you're up in the top 10. And you get across the 25, 18, 15 point scoring system. And currently Halliburton's at the top of that. Key Ming, I think, in second place, and Aaron Barber in third. So that could really close in quite a bit. Halliburton's got a comfortable lead as well. But with no drop rounds, if you miss plenty of rounds, as Halliburton of course did last season, you've got no chance of challenging for the championship. So it could be an interesting one. That's as we are riding back on board with Aaron Barber. This looks like to me at least, Sanjo, a very nice lap. But the problem is, even around a long outlap like this, your tyres aren't going to be up to temperature, and you're almost certainly going to be able to find 2/10 or 3/10 on your second lap compared to your first. So these early times, take them with a pinch of salt.
Absolutely, you can see Baba setting the second best lap, third actually now, since Manuel Largo sets the fastest lap of the qualifying session so far, but as we were saying, the second lap is definitely the lap where you want to have your best lap time. But always setting a very good opening lap gives you the chance to push just a little bit more, be more confident in your second opportunity, since you know that if you don't get it right, you still have at least a decent lap time in the books.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is absolutely invaluable to have that first lap under your belt. You're like at this point, sure, you know, that's probably not going to be enough for pole position at 58.9, but you know, you've probably been still on the front couple of rows. He didn't improve, so compared to starting at the back, that is a massive advantage. You can really afford to just push that little bit harder on the second lap, especially around this circuit where well, off-jacks are kind of possible, but you should be able to really bring the neck off the car. Not worried too much about that stuff. It's my go-to catchphrase, but it is close because we've got top 10 drivers separated by half a second, top 11 in fact separated by half a second. I did allude to earlier on the finish that we had last season around this circuit. I mean, I've commentated on hundreds of races, but it was one of the best finishes I've ever seen in a race, where we had Barber beat Pablo Lopez on the run to the line, managed to get a cutback coming out of the final corner. And that's really something to watch out for on the final lap of the race, and also pack racing, very common as well as the drivers rounding out the final few corners. And this is going to be where qualifying is decided here. So I think these lap times which are coming in the next few seconds as Reinhardt goes to the top.
Yes, Beauchamp improves and moves up to first place, but I expect plenty of drivers improve their time right now. Baba, Mink, Olargo with 2/10 on Kick and Mink, an amazing lap, 158.5. Nobody is close, and you know how usually packed the top 5, top 10 is every race in qualifying. This shows how fast Manu is, and unfortunately, he's been always very, very fast in qualifying, but very, very unfortunate in racing.
Yeah, I think he's yet to win a race so far as Manuel Largo. I'm not 100% sure about that one, but I believe that's the case. Ming, of course, probably the most successful driver who has not won one of these races as well. So, them two starting on the front row could be dangerous as the qualifying advances. That is great news. So everyone was so good there. They all completed their second lap, and if that happens, it's a rare circumstance. If that does happen, then the qualifying session advances, and we go straight to the grid. So here is where we are. Manuel Largo on pole position, 2/10 clear of Ming, so he was fastest on the first lap, fastest in the second lap. That's a really strong time, but by no means is decisive. Ming in second place. He was second last week. Can he go one better? Aaron Barber then, the most real competitive top 3. Daniel Beauchamp, another fantastic qualifying for him. Let's see if he can hold on to that 4th place throughout. Andre Castro, a driver who we don't usually see. He's up there in 5th. Then it's John McCutcheon, who was very competitive at this circuit last season. Ruben Rodriguez in 7th. Michael Reinhardt, Josh Cam, and Christian Streitenberger, another new driver to the series. There's Ant Castles, Marek Studnicka in 12th. Christian Macrelli, Leon Hernandez, Dennis Kyrkopoulos, Arturas Kundelis, Eric Hanoi, Paul Crabb, Tommy Vittens, Paul Taylor, David Cabe, and Robert Woodward, rounding out the 22 cars. Good qualifying there from Beauchamp there, Alessandro, but his race pace isn't usually quite as strong as his qualifying pace. Do you think he'll be able to stay with the top 3?
Yeah, it's definitely a very nice qualifying. I think with the slipstream effect, which is not as strong as Le Mans though, I think he will have a chance, but it's mandatory to not make a single mistake. One guy I would keep an eye on is Castro. I know him very well, so I'll tell you a story later.
Awesome, look forward to that. Look forward to this race. 5 lights, and away we go. Road America. It's a storming start for the pole center all away from the rest of the order. It's a dreadful start for Castro, who clearly isn't the best at starters, even if he is a very quick driver. However, he might have time to come back later on. Just covering off the inside line for down the order, Streitenberger. I think just gets him past right now, so very strong start for Streitenberger. As also Ming, who's ahead of Olaga. Cold tyres in this first lap. Really tricky to keep the car in the right direction. Hernandez is miles off. You can see him in the background as the drivers stay very close. It's very narrow around the circuit. However, Barber's trying to make this one through. Why? Best to stay out of that one, I imagine. And Beauchamp might be trying to pull through. Ming holding onto the lead. Olago tries to go around the outside. He's a bit off the circuit. Don't want to pick up any splits of damage at this early stage of the race. And it is Ming who's holding on for dear life. But look at Olago around the outside. He gets a massive slide. I'm not sure if that was the cold tyres of contact. He carried an immense amount of speed right there. Ming though holds on. But that was very aggressive driving on the first few corners for the front runners.
You have some more trouble as Josh Gam goes wide in the gravel, manages to keep the car out from the barriers, but unfortunately for Josh Gam, another week where he will have to work from the back, 21st place, as we have even more trouble towards the back with Andre Castro, unfortunately, making his debut in the broadcaster race and retiring, as we have another car in the grass, drivers pushing very hard some in the early stages of this race and making a lot of mistakes.
Streitenberg has taken advantage of that because he's up 5 places. He made a bit of an aggressive move through the carousel on Beauchamp, but apart from that, I think legit moves that was over the bumps, and he has already picked up some damage. So yeah, I'm not sure how good a shape that car will be. The drag car efficiently is starting to pull away from the drivers behind, as the top 4, Hutchinson also with a good start to move up 2 places. Top 4 just gets away from the rest of the order, and Beauchamp seems very slow down the straight, but he's actually losing time to Streitenberger ahead. Enough for Rodriguez to move past, who's also got a bit of damage on the side car. I'm really surprised how aggressive the drivers were there at the side. I mean, everyone down the order is looking for every position they can gain, even though, you know, another slipstream circuit, you would have thought that the drivers would maybe just be a bit more willing to give up the place in the early stages and keep their car clean.
Absolutely, Sam. I was surprised too, but you know, the field is so stacked in these races, as we see Ming trying to fend off Olargo, but have to stay in second place. These drivers are so fast and so even in pace that every position counts, and you don't want to be 5th or 6th, you want to be the top 3 or 4 maximum, because you know that just a slight mistake like it happened right now for Kika Ming could split the pack, and once you lose the draft, there's no way you can get back.
Yeah, that's I'm not an oval driver, but from the little oval I've done, it's like being in a street stock race at Scarlett where you get dropped by the fields, and yeah, from that point onwards it's going to be a very dull race. Those couple of mistakes there for me has closed up the field. You can see everyone from down to 13th place are separated by less than a second. The slipstream in this car kicks in at about 1.8 seconds. So as long as you're within that margin, you will be gaining some time. There is some turbulence in this car, but it's around this second, it's going to be weaker than the draft, as Vitson's up the inside of Taylor, that is. However, they're staying side by side through Bill Mitchell bend. This is just about being able to take the normal racing line. Taylor will be under pressure from behind. These guys are just losing touch. The drives ahead, you can see that chasm which has formed, but meanwhile these drivers are all super close, but they've all got the draft, so they should be able to defend all right. Although actually, that's actually pulling out of the draft. I don't think that's a very good decision from Castles there. It does lose out to McCrelly. Comes out of the draft to defend the inside, but now he's trying to come back.
Yeah, great fight between these drivers. They have to be careful not to get too much into this fight and lose the drivers in front, as it happened unfortunately for Daniel Beauchamp, who lost the draft from the top 4 and now will inevitably keep losing time if the drivers in front keep working together and not slowing each other. As we have trouble, Ming is out. I think McCutcheon might have, or Baba might have had a mistake. Let's see. Ooh.
Oh no. Well, that is a shame. That is a shame. And it brings our lead pack of 4 down to a lead pack of 2. Margo and Barbara. Barbara again, he's always the favourite for these race wins when Halliburton's not around. And 2 Road America wins in a row, but that is a real shame because we want to see a nice battle between those 4 of the best drivers in this car, particularly when patches are very good around this circuit as we saw last season. But just breaking too late there.
Absolutely, a very costly mistake. And as I said in the opening lap, if you don't make mistakes, you can fight for the win. If you make a very small mistake or a big mistake like happened between Mink and McHutchinson, it's gonna cost you a lot. Still plenty of time for Mink and McHutchinson to come back, but definitely they won't have a chance to fight for the win.
Taylor and Cal just had an issue. I think that was down at Canada Corner. So they are down into 20th and 21st position. Hopefully their cars are still driving straight, no fast fares in this series, and these cars are some of the most brutal we have on the iRacing service. It was then, so it was Taylor drove it too deep, and well, that was unlucky there for David Kalb, who was making his debut. We've seen Taylor a couple of times, but Kalb, his first appearance. That might just be because he's recently had an upturn in iRacing, because he was the lowest or the second lowest seed for this race, as that is Rodriguez up into 3rd position. See Rodriguez up there. I mean, very competitive team drives for Fordzilla. Rodriguez are our most regulars in this series, but I can't recall him getting a podium in the past. Usually a solid top 10er. He's now at the front of this train.
Yeah, now this will be very interesting because maybe Ruben Rodriguez might have the possibility to stretch this group a bit and do some car from the draft, which is always something these drivers that are at the top aim to do, to reduce the number of cars behind, as Dennis Veliakopoulos had a moment just a few seconds ago, a bit wide here, and
that was weird.
The car on the curb. Yes, some curves here on iRacing, especially Suzuka, is the main circuit where curbs are very, very tricky. The car just snaps loose on the track and you have no chance of saving it. You need to be very, very careful. Catches a lot of people out.
I really didn't expect that. I mean, he kind of, maybe that's a part of the curve that you don't usually hit, but really did kind of oscillate the car quite a bit there, quite a big bump there, and he drops down. Good time for Reinhardt there, although he is in the draft, so that's kind of why, as Beauchamp moves up to 3rd place. I don't think that was a smart move, to be honest, Daniel, because he gets overtaken immediately again, probably going to lose another position here, as that is great from Streitenberg. I don't think it's making any friends out here. He's been pretty aggressive so far. Streitenberger was at the front of this. I think on lap 3 he made a mistake. It was just before we saw the incident of Hutchinson and Ming. And so he could have been in that leading battle actually, but he made a mistake and lost the job. But well, it's getting tasty now. Rodriguez back to the front of this one. Streitenberger had to be tight on the brakes. Beauchamp, after being 3rd position 2 corners ago, might be down into 6th here, as he has to let by Michael Reinhardt, who's particularly racing tonight. But this one going back all the way to Kundaliz. And these guys have been glued together for really this entire race.
Yeah, between these drivers, anyone can still get that 3rd place. The first 2 positions, though, everything seems to be very stable between Largo and Baba. Baba has always a very good run on the backstretch, but he never really tries to make a pass. Knows that Manuel Largo is really fast and doesn't want to lose any time and fight it only towards the last few laps, as we are still going to Daniel Beauchamp trying to make a pass on Reinhardt. But look how late Reinhardt broke there and he made the car stick to the apron. That was an absolute amazing braking by the German driver.
Ming up into 13th place. How is that car clean? So what lap times is he doing? Well, his last lap time for Ming was very slow. So we know how much damage he's got. You'll see that time come up on the timing tower in just a moment. The lead is really pulling away on that last lap from that big pack behind. What time does Ming do this time? Is it a 58? It's a 59.8. It's alright. It's not massive. I imagine you might have a bit of damage though, or maybe he was just getting stuck behind some traffic, not sure. Meanwhile, for the lead, Olago looking to still have a big enough lead. In fact, Reinhardt's made a mistake, I think, because Streitenberger and Rodriguez have pulled away. So I wonder if Beauchamp and Reinhardt have gone alongside once again. I think they might be going alongside once again for that 5th position, because Reinhardt just running a bit wide in the background there. Beauchamp managing to move past. Or has he? Still alongside. This is killing their pace. Beauchamp does move ahead, but now they're 1.7 seconds behind, which is right on the fringes of the tail of the class management.
Yeah, absolutely. This is doing not any good to the drivers behind them too, as Macrelli and McCutchinson are still fighting for 7th place. A great battle between these drivers, but you always need to be very careful, because if you try to make a pass and you don't make it, you might actually lose another spot, because everyone is so close, as these drivers are still in the draft order for Beauchamp and Reinhardt. They are really struggling to keep up now with Rodriguez, Streitenberg in turn 4.
Yeah, I don't understand that we've got the credit. Just stay behind the countries and get the draft, turn yourselves back up, but still they want track position at the moment. And, you know, sometimes it can be very good. You do want to be at the front of the pack, and I remember Pablo Lopez chatted to us a couple of times about these slipstream circuits last season, because he won the championship last season with 6 or 7 wins to his name. And he was saying when you're in the pack, you want to be at the front, you want to fight for that lead, because if say you're running in 3rd and 4th starts battling with you, then you can drop down. As dropping down is Hutchinson. He was too late on the brakes, and just as he was making some good progress through the order, he has undone that. Undoubtedly he'll catch up to that pack again, but it's really probably entered his chances at getting a podium, probably even a top 5 now as well.
In the meantime, we have quite a few discussions in pit lane between Calv and Taylor, trying to understand what happened earlier in the race. I'm sure they will definitely come to an agreement soon, as Studnicka did a very good race at Le Mans. He's trying to make his way through this pack, but it's very difficult to pass something. If you miss just a little bit the braking point here, there's no runoff area, it's just grass and gravel, and if you just dip a tire in the grass, the car just doesn't turn anymore. So you need to be very, very careful.
Yeah, that's a huge problem around this circuit with the amount of grass, but we do like the grass around here. And of course the updated curbs as well are very welcome on iRacing. Though this maybe was scanned a while back. Still looks very fresh, as that was a big slide there for Castles. By the way, quick shout out to to our spot, to our overlay project, SDK Gaming, for providing us with and you can also click on the live time link in the description below. SDK Gaming provide the absolute best overlay in all of iRacing. It's brilliant for broadcasting, as we're using it for streaming, and also as a heads-up display, because it's got a fuel calculator and gives you all the information you need for when you are racing. So if you want to get this overlay, which you can do a bunch of customization on, go visit sdk-gaming.co.uk in order to download the software. This pack has kind of moved backwards a little bit now, Alexander, because the back of the previous pack has now joined onto the front of the 3rd pack, if you get what I mean. So it was like 3rd down to 9th, it's now kind of 8th down to 13. Well, this pack has a spin for Castles. Unfortunately, the others have spun, but the others have avoided. But Castles, who was making a break for it, you can see he was building up a gap. He's going to be in for a very nice result, but he has spun this by himself.
Yeah, too much master for the Pure Motorsport driver. He's around, but thankfully everyone managed to avoid him. Very unlucky race for Pure Motorsport so far. Both the drivers are struggling now towards the back of these pack in 15th and 17th. But both having plenty of speed, they showed plenty of speed. As also Eric Hanoi, who is the responsible guy of the broadcast championship, so he will always keep us up to date with all the standings every round. We really do appreciate the effort. Trying to catch a Kikami, who definitely has some damage, because his pace is not what we are used to at every track we've been to this season.
Yeah, I wonder if Ming will be caught by the end of the straight here, because he's not within the draft. As Rodriguez and Streitzenberg are close. Streitzenberg with the boot motion, so with the fastest lap. Studnicka and Kunter's also battling. Was Ming caught? No, Ming stayed ahead then, but yeah, you're absolutely right. He is really losing a lot of time with that damage that he's got, but he's trying to get a top 10, trying to get some points for the Friday Night Championship. Oh, I feel like this one might be about to kick off, because this is the closest that these guys have been for a little while. Studnicka at the front of the pack. How many drivers, or how many swaps have we seen for these positions so far today? No one can seem to hold on to the lead of this pack after we had the issue behind Castles before. It's good defending there from Studnicka. Oh, hard into the wall from Castles. He does not like that corner, and I'm playing that one on Chris Cash, who was managed to do a viewer curse. Usually it's a commentator curse, but he was picking up Ant Castles a moment ago, and since then it's gone very downhill for it.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Ant Castles. Same place, one lap later. This time he didn't hold on to it and found the barriers. He tried to get the inside, but unfortunately, once you lock up, this car doesn't really like to put the power down, and probably that's maybe due to the also tire model we are running on. But Castle definitely trying to forget his race.
I thought he may have been hit actually there. I'm not sure, he was very slight at it. You may well be right about the loss, but it was so sudden. Oh, Streitzenberg's had a problem. He already, oh no, oh well, yeah, he has. So he'd already gone off earlier on in the lap to Streitzenberger, but he's had a worse off there, and he's gone to a whole lap before he gets it back to the finish. But that's game over anyway. He's not going to be able to repair that by the end of the race. Yeah, just dropping a little bit off Rodriguez with a mistake in sector 2. Then, very common error. I think that was what you were alluding to earlier on actually, outside you're dipping a wheel onto the grass and then you lose all your grip.
Yeah, you might have to just ease off the throttle a little bit, lose a second or two to not spin there, but obviously he was aiming for that podium spot, so he gave everything he got, but he's still in 13th place. Car seems to be clean, so he has the chance to come back for a few positions towards the end of the race. 3 laps left as Kikami defends the position on Streckenberg. 15th place, definitely try to get back into the top 10.
Yeah, the stories that these guys have had so far in this race. Ming is doing a mighty job staying 13th place, and it really could turn into something better if it's to finally reach the crescendo in this battle. But so far, they kept it very clean. Studnicka now up to 6th place with that mistake from Streitzenberger. Yeah, everyone else getting up pace. But Hutchinson, who's had a disastrous race, took up Ming, went off at turn 1. Just a few seconds on both of those occasions. Can still get a top 6 out of this one. Yeah, just still staying behind into Canada corner. Lining up the Bill Mitchell pin, which is almost flapped out in these SR8 machines. Just as Mitchell hit that curb on the outside, it's really doing a lot of damage to your splitter and your floor as you get around the final corner. And absolutely terrible for Studnicka, which is so hard. Gets it down to 1 second. By the end of this pit straight, it's down to Silch.
Yeah, look at how many cars in single file here trying to get the slipstream. It's gonna be a wide last 2 laps in this midfield, as I bet it's gonna get pasty also for the lead. We haven't seen much from Larga and Baba, but they've always been keeping the same position, the same order for the rest of the race. But I think Baba is just waiting for the last lap to try and get back and hopefully get home with another win here already.
Yeah, I imagine he'd like it to be less. Oh, as McCutcheon is wide again. Oh, there was contact though. How weird was that one? Because it seemed like behind McCutcheon was McCrelly, who really stood on the brakes there, and then it just caused a concertina effect with the Crab getting involved, and Vittens. Vittens was the big loser, but Crab will have a bunch of damage to the front of his car now after that. It's just very unusual for McCrelly to slow down quite that much. Yeah, the other drivers couldn't react in time. Has separated this pack now, Crab with Darish in 10th place. He's got the Darish Strutterberger and the Darish Ming right behind him, as well as Ek Hanoi has had a bit more of a serious issue, I think.
Yeah, Hernandez, the Argentinian driver Hernandez also had an off later on the lap, and now he's back on pit road as Kikami makes the pass on Strattenberger and moves up into 11th position, so very close to get a very good top 10. Considering the damage he has on the car, will be a very good result, as we have our lovely flagman waving the white flag. Last lap of the race, Olargo leading, Baba in second place. Will be probably looking to get a nice exit speed from this corner, trying to make a pass at the end.
I imagine he'd want to get it done into turn 3. Baba's a little bit far back. Maybe a bit of turbulence through turn 2. And I think Olargo is going to be able to survive this initial attack unless Barber's going to be really brave, and he is within passing range here, but he stays behind. It wasn't worth the risk. And for Barber with 2 race wins already this season, going for his third, going for that would move him up into second place in the Friday Night Championship, and also a heavily closer gap to Kane Halliburton at the front, but he's made a mistake there, undoubtedly, through the right-hander, and he'll have some catching up to do through the kink and into Canada corner. Meanwhile, Kundalis going for what could be a decisive move in this epic battle for 6th place, but Studnicka staying alongside. Very respectful there from Arturis to allow him to stay alongside. But Hutchinson trying to get involved as well. He was leaving very little space there, was the Scotsman. And Kundalis just about moving ahead, but out in the lead, Olargo and Barber is coming down into Canada corner. I think Barber might just be a bit too far behind here. This is really going to go for it. Here we go, down the inside, and Barber tries to get stopped. They're all over the place, the pair of them. It's almost identical to last season, as we saw at Spa, of course, as Barber has to stay behind. Olargo should be able to take the normal racing line through the final corner, but there's contact between the two of them. They're both off, and this might open up the opportunity for Ruben Rodriguez behind, who moves into the lead. And Ruben Rodriguez, who I don't recall ever getting a podium on a Friday night in the past, is going to get his first ever win as well. He wins at Road America in a super intense finish. It's Beauchamp and Reinhardt rounding out a very surprising podium, and Olargo and Barber round out the top 5. Did Kundalis beat Studnicka? No, he didn't. By 1,000th of a second, Studnicka wins that battle. It looks all very clean from where we were sitting. But how about that mistake there from Aaron Barber? Because, well, I just felt as though it was going to be the same as last season. I thought he was somehow going to find a way through Alessandro. But in the end, it was a real bad error there from Barber. He absolutely slammed into the back of Olargo, even when the move wasn't on. I'm very confused by that.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. I didn't expect it either, to be fair, and heartbreaking for Olargo, because I bet he thought he was gonna get his win today, but unfortunately, let's see now again from his replay. Side by side, they kept it very clean, but I think Baba just overshoot a bit the breaking point and got the back of Manu Rayo Largo, and unfortunately they both go around and give Ruben Rodriguez the chance to get his first win on Friday night here on Apex Racing TV in the rally.
You'll see the onboard here from Barber. You can see the chances of the race win from here were very small. I imagine maybe... Oh, there was some netcode, but I think he was going to hit him anyway.
I think he was going out of the track anyway, from my perspective. I don't know if... I think he was a bit too late on the brakes. Might have been a mistake. Maybe Erin will come by and say hello in the booth in a while, so we might have the chance to ask him.
Yeah, that'd be very insightful if we could. Hopefully we'll have a chat as well with the first time winner, Ruben Rodriguez. I mean, he's it's seed number 4, and like I said, you know, consistently up in the top 10 in this in these splits. But that was a brilliant drive from him. He started in 7th place, did Rodriguez, and got himself into that good 3rd position and was there to pick up the pieces when they fell to him. But Daniel Beauchamp reaches in 2nd place. I was thinking, well, will he be able to hold on to 4th? Hold my 4th place, because he managed to get 2nd in the end. Michael Reinhardt with a very good 3rd. Those top 3 separated by only 1.8 seconds at the finish. Then it was Manu Rayo Largo who really had that race win controlled, but contact with Aaron Barber in 5th place ended those chances. Kundaliz beats Stanika. Well, that's the other way round on our timing screen previously. Yeah, on our timing screen, Stanika beats 5,000th of a second. So, yeah, apparently Kundaliz won then in that one, so 6th place. But you can see that they were identical to the 1,000th. Then it was Christian McCrelly, John McHutchinson. Key came in with a damage car salvage as a point there. Robert Woodward was in 11th. Then it was Dennis Kyriakopoulos, Josh Cam, Paul Crabb, Tommy Vittens, Eric Hanoi, Christian Streitenberger. Think where he would have been had he not made that mistake. He was battling with Rodriguez at the time. Leon Hernandez was in 18th. Then it was Ant Castles, Paul Taylor, David Kolb, and Andre Castro, who we barely saw any of, and Sanjay's stories about him will have to wait for another week. We have got a couple of interviews with drivers now, and first up I'm going to have a chat with a very happy Mr. Daniel Beauchamp, who joins us in the commentary booth. 2nd position, Daniel, your best results in these Friday night splits. Congratulations, really good result.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. It was a really fun race, and yeah, I was happy with the position. Not too happy with the fact that it was just because Aaron and Manu crashed in the last corner, but still, it was very nice.
Seemed like it was quite close in those early stages, particularly lap 1. You just fell down a little bit. I mean, was that kind of the cold tyres which was the problem, or kind of what was the reason for you dropping down to, I think it was 7th place after a 4th place start?
Yeah, I don't know the name of the corner, but the one with the big crest before the left-hander, someone went quite sideways at the beginning, and I got a little scared. So my fear of accelerating sort of extended into the next corners, and I just slowed down a bit too much and lost too much momentum in comparison to everyone else. Dropped back. But yeah, I still need to get used to the pressure of the first few laps for sure.
But then you managed to get back through the order, and by the end of the race, you're only 1.2 seconds behind Ruben. Were you catching Ruben near those closing stages, or was that kind of maintaining that gap?
Very, very slightly, I was catching him. It came down over the course of a few laps from like 1.8 to 1.2 by the end, but yeah, I would have needed quite a few more laps to actually make a move, because he was very, very similar pace. So the only reason I was catching him was just because of the slipstream.
And yeah, what was running through your mind when you saw the top 2 leaders crash to one another?
Well, I heard Erend say over the radio, like, "Oh no!" I was like, "Ah, this is they've probably just touched each other, but we'll still go over the line 1-2." And then saw them on the gravel, and as much as I don't like to revel in other people's pain, you can't help but feel quite happy when you see that.
Have you had a chance to look at the incident yet?
I had a little look, yeah, but I don't really want to. That they can discuss it among themselves. They're very civil with each other. I don't really want to comment on whose fault it was.
Oh, very, very pragmatic, very sensible and nice.
'Cause otherwise, they'll get grumpy at me and crash me out. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Next week we head away from the slipstream circuits and we head to Okayama. To me, that's a really good circuit for this car. I think it's a really good match. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely agree. Love it in this car. I've only done it once before, but did a lot of races that week because it was so much fun. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, best of luck for that one. Hopefully you can go one better next time. Daniel, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, Ruben, nice win. He kept up the consistency in the last few laps. It was really good. And as always, you guys, thanks for the great commentary.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Daniel. We'll see you back in 7 days' time.
See you guys.
That was Daniel Beauchamp. By the way, another shout out to another one of our sponsors for this series and for Apex Racing TV, Virtual Racing School, who offer over 50 data packs on road and oval racing. And those data packs include setups, track guides, data analysis software, one-on-one coaching, everything that you need in order to improve your iRacing performance. So if you're looking to get some tenths off your lap times, Virtual Racing School is certainly the place to go. Get yourself a subscription. And yeah, you can be racing with some of the best. Now, of course, Pablo Lopez, who won this championship last season, he does actually track tutorials for each race of the season. I mean, this is a fixed setups championship, so there's no setups involved, but just being able to follow his racing lines as one of the best drivers in this Radical SR8 machine is really invaluable to improve your performance. So do check out Virtual Racing School for more details on that. Alessandro, I think we're going to have another interview, and it's with our 5th place man, Aaron Paba.
Indeed, looking forward to this interview because Aaron, what happened there in the last corner? A very rare mistake.
I don't know. I was already looking at the exit of the corner, and then maybe because I was driving behind Manu the whole time, the tires. I locked up. I never lock up, so I locked up there. I tried to avoid him by going into the grass so he could just win the race, but I touched him anyway, so I apologize to him. It's all good, but it's a stupid mistake. Normally I never make mistakes like this.
Yeah, it was definitely a very rare mistake. We were both really surprised in the booth.
Yeah, because I was driving behind him the whole race, just to make a gap with the other drivers, not to fight, because on a track like this, having the best qualifying and fighting the whole time, it doesn't matter. So I was trying to stay behind Manu the whole time, just to have some seconds for the last 2-3 corners to play, in case of. But as it turns out, we needed a lot more than that.
Yeah,
So,
indeed.
So again, Manu, I apologize to you, brother. It was a very good race from Manu, top driver. I think if Pablo was here, he would also have the same pace. Manu is very fast.
Yeah, absolutely. He's very fast. But unfortunately, not so lucky during the race. He's always very good in qualifying, but
Yeah,
every week has something happen.
Yes, that's why I feel extra bad, because it was. I don't know if Manu won a race on the Radical. I don't know, and I thought, okay, if I cannot make the move the last corner, I'm happy with P2. but as it turns out, I ruined this race also. So again, this is all on me. I'm man enough to take the blame.
Mistakes happen. If you don't try, you never make mistakes. So you always have to be positive. And next week we move to another interesting circuit for sure, and that will be Okayama. So I think Slipstream will be less of a problem there, right?
Yes. It's a small circuit, so I think the fast, who is fast will be fast. No draft there, so I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, we definitely are. And for whoever is watching, remember, track is free, so plenty of people joining, and make sure to give it a try, because this car is a blast to drive.
Yes, especially on those kinds of tracks.
Indeed. Anyone you would like to thank, Erin, before we let you go?
You guys, and again, shout out to Manu. I don't know if he's coming for the interview, but again, I'm really sorry for him. I hope I meet him sometimes in real life. I will buy him a beer and drink with him.
But that's the spirit you should always have when something happens on track, both in real life and also in the virtual world. So thanks for joining, Erin, and see you then in 7 days.
Bye guys, see you in 7 days.
I think, Sam, we don't have anyone to join us, but we definitely have still time to give a shout out to one or another of our sponsor, that being Apex Racing Academy. That is integrated with a virtual racing school, so very important if you want to have everything on the same page to download very easily from virtual racing school. 29 data packs, setups with some very good track guides, weekly group coaching session, which is something very unique and where you can learn a lot from World Championship drivers from every discipline, even rallycross. We have very good rallycross drivers, and they can definitely teach you a lot about that discipline and much more. So make sure to check them out at apexracingac.com.
Yes, absolutely. Big thanks to them. Of course, next week, Alessandro, I alluded to it earlier on when we were chatting with Daniel. We got Okayama on the schedule, and you chatted about it a little bit before as well. I mean, I think that circuit's really good. I think it's pretty much. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like it's one of those circuits where the draft and the turbulent air should be fairly even. Maybe the turbulent air will be a bit stronger than the draft, but it's a circuit where you can overtake, but like if you can pull off an overtake, it could be decisive. So I think that should be a good one, especially if we have maybe a two-way fight for the race win.
Absolutely, and next week will be definitely be very different from any race we've been covering this season, Sam, for sure, because yes, we have some decent spots where you can make a pass happen, but the track is very narrow, a lot of very twisty corners, plenty of hairpins towards the last sector, so it's definitely gonna be a all different story, and we won't see all these 8-9 packs, car packs fighting for fifth place there. I think we will see the best drivers pull away and have some very intense racing.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see Kane Halliburton back as well to maybe really re-establish his dominance of the season. I mean, good news for him is that his two championship rivals, Ming and Barber, only finishing in 10th and 5th places respectively, so not too much points lost for him tonight. But yeah, we certainly hope to see him back for week 8 of the championship. And as Alessandro was saying earlier on, it's a freak circuit next week, so if you like Okayama, give this car a try. It's a really good circuit to try this car round. Jump into a couple of races because they're pretty much official all through the week. You can pretty much get 20 cars in every single split. Usually it's upwards of 100 drivers for in the evening split. So do sign up and yeah, give this Radical SR8 a good try. And of course, big thanks to the community for helping us fund all of these broadcasts. We do have a lot of fun with them on Apex Racing TV. That's pretty much going to be it for us for tonight. So once again, thanks to SDK Gaming, thanks to Virtual Racing School, and thanks to Apex Racing Academy. If you've enjoyed this video, do leave a like on it and also subscribe to Apex Racing TV, because we've got loads more action coming up. We've got the return of the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 Championship actually tomorrow, and that's been good fun. Also the Formula 3.5 Championship and the season finale of the Apex Racing League GT Championship on Sunday, where 4 drivers are still in the running to take that title. That's on at 19 GMT on Sunday. I particularly recommend checking out that one. But yeah, subscribe to Apex Racing TV and you can see all that, and also check out our social media as well on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter as well, where we are constantly posting little highlights of our races. Undoubtedly that final corner will be up on social media very quickly, but yeah, you can see other highlights from our races on there as well. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, from Alessandro Dalladone, and from Mark Chanter, we are going to say goodbye. And it's a first time win for Ruben Rodriguez for Team Fordzilla. See you in Japan in 1 week's time. See you then.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a three-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
and many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.